Marsha is gone. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, so the hits keep on coming and coming and coming. Pause. The Eagles just lost 2 more guys to free agency, and we're going to talk about it because there will be more guys to go, more guys to jump ship, but that's okay. If the Eagles can just hold their ground, if they can just weather the storm, then it will be time for us to pounce. Now, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, most throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet. Pause. And if you've been subscribed for a while, just double check. Double moonwalk check. Make sure that everything's still right. Your bell's still rung. Pause. You got your subscribe button set. Everything is good to go because it's the off season. And you know, videos come fast and furious. Sometimes more so in the off season than during the regular season. So you don't want to miss it because I can hit you at any time. And of course, we got the draft. You don't want to miss it. And if you've been subscribed for a while, once again, thank you for all your support. Now, if this video is to be released, if you are going to be watching this video, then it's probably going to be somewhat later in the evening, and it's going to be at a point where I feel pretty sure that we are going to go into tomorrow with C.J. Gardner-Johnson not being signed by anybody yet, that he is still in play, okay? If the Eagles sign him or another team signs him, it'll be a brand new video. However, C.J. Gardner-Johnson at this moment, at this second, is still available. And what has happened earlier today gives me some hope. And I'll explain in a second. But let's first talk about Andre Dillard, because Andre Dillard was one of those guys that is gone. He flew the coop. He is now headed to Tennessee. Per not Ian Rapport, that's for the other one. Per my man Jordan Schultz, shout out to Jordan Schultz. He says, breaking, Pound Titans plan to sign Pound Eagles tackle Andre Dillard, sources tell the outscore. Not a surprise. I know all of us knew Andre Dillard was going to go. It is a luxury in this league when you can have a first round pick be a backup tackle. And that's what the Eagles had. And he actually played some guard this year, and I thought he showed some improvements. Stoutland did a great job with him. Me personally, I wish the Eagles would have traded him last year. I would have liked to gotten something, a mid-pick, something for him. Instead, we get nothing for him, and he leaves. And that's always the risk when you decide to keep guys that you know are going to be gone at the end of the year, and that was him. I wish him nothing but the best, but I mean, let's face it, Jordan Mailata came out of nowhere and won the job from him fair and square. So he is gone to Tennessee, and maybe he could tell Derrick Henry where Nova Care is so he could get his butt there. The other one I want to talk about, and like I said, if you're seeing this video, then it's either two things. One, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is still on the board in terms of free agency. Or this is one of my unreleased channel membership videos. I don't know which one this is going to be yet. We'll find out because I'm going to wait a little later into the evening. But I kind of took this as good news, okay? Because the fact that the Eagles lost a safety and it wasn't C.J. Gardner-Johnson, to me, makes me think that there's some hope that the Eagles didn't have to sign Marsha Epps because they're focusing on C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Get this, Ian Rappaport reports this. Source, the Pound Raiders are expected to sign former Pound Eagles safety Marcus Epps, per me and Mike Garofalo. So, Epps signs with the Raiders. Now, one of the destinations for C.J. Gardner-Johnson was the Raiders. The Raiders were supposed to be in on him. They were supposed to pursue him. And yet, they take Marcus Marcus. It's not Marcus Marsha. It's Marcus Epps. Okay? I think, and I'm taking this tonight as a good sign, as a sign that the possibility remains that maybe C.J. Gardner-Johnson is still got a shot to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know what's going on. I'm a little surprised that he hasn't signed yet with anybody, but my hope is that the Eagles are really negotiating, really trying to get this thing done, because if the Eagles can land him, it will soften the blow of losing Javon Hargrave. It will soften the blow of losing T.J. Edwards, of possibly losing James Bradbury. It will go a long way, okay? But right now, to me, C.J. Gardner-Johnson would have been my number one free agent for the Eagles to sign, even if he was a free agent. To get him back or have a chance to get him back is so important for the Philadelphia Eagles. You got to get him back. And I think that's what they want to do. I think that's the plan that Howie has, okay? Obviously, now that you have a whole linebacker with T.J. Edwards gone, Kaiser White's still free agent. He could go. He could be going too. Okay, I think a guy like Bobby Wagner would be a very, very good idea. If you could get Bobby Wagner in for like 1 year on a decent deal and then sit there and let him play with Nakobe Dean, I think that would be a great thing. Now, the Cowboys apparently are interested and have had preliminary talks with Bobby Wagner. This is a team that does the same thing every year, every year, the same thing. Running back, linebacker, running back, linebacker, whatever, dude. Go ahead. Don't worry about your receivers. Don't worry about your offense. That's fine. Don't be explosive. You know what I mean? That's fine. It's fine with me. But if the Eagles could pull, a Bobby Wagner, let's say, and then in the draft they somehow could get a Jalen Carter, I think that the defense could survive. I think they would be okay, especially if you have C.J. Gardner-Johnson coming back. And if there's a way to get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back and James Bradbury, you go to the Super Bowl. You go to the Super Bowl. Because I think that puts the Eagles right back where we need to be. I know. I'm dreaming. Here's a dreamer. Look at this dreamer. What's he talking about? You can't keep Bradbury and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Fair enough. But it would be nice. It's a nice thought. It's a nice thought. Just give me C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, and I'm happy. Truthfully, I'll be very happy with that. And the fact that Marcus Epps has not signed or signed with somebody else and not with the Eagles, I think that's a big sign that the Eagles are trying to keep C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I do not think for a second that Marcia Epps gets to free agency, that he's not an Eagle. The Eagles would have signed him and kept him if they thought C.J. Gardner-Johnson wasn't a possibility. The Eagles were making a play, and they're making a play hard for C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and I absolutely 100% love it. Okay, I love it. Because if I get C.J. Gardner-Johnson, right, and here's my overall thing, okay? Let me give you my overall perspective of where I see the Eagles are with all the losses today, okay? If you get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, you then have a 25-year-old pillar, a foundational piece, a building block to build your secondary and defense around for years to come. I believe possibly Nakobe Dean can be that kind of player at your linebacking core. I think the Eagles will address the defensive line in the draft, and you'll find it there, along with Jordan Davis. Then you have your corners, which I think you're going to have to also address in the draft in terms of the long term. But the Eagles, even though they lost Hargrave to a massive deal, which we all thought and knew he was going to, we all knew he was going to leave. It just hurts that he went to why did you go to the 49ers? The 49ers, Rice-A-Roni treat. San Francisco, the Rice-A-Roni treat. Why would you go there? That's what hurts to me more than anything. But he goes, you lose Dillard, who cares? Marcus Epps, you survive. You probably lose Bradbury, yeah, that sucks. But if you get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, you have a good draft, okay? you'll have some talent on defense still. You still have Brandon Graham. You still have Josh Sweat. You still have Hassan Reddick. Those are all double-digit sack guys on your squad, okay? How many teams have 3 double-digit sack guys? So the Eagles still have talent on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to have some holes, but they still got defensive talent. And then on the offensive side, guess what? Jason Kelce comes back. Do you know how huge that is to get the best center of football back for another year? Now, you put Cam Jurgens, I'm assuming they're going to put him at right guard for at least 1 year. You got a line. You got a great line. You got a line, best line in football. Now, hear me out. And I think people are starting to see my point and starting to come my way. People are starting to realize you can't replace player for player for player in just one all season. It's not going to happen with the kind of players you're losing. You're losing blue chip players, okay? So, while you spend a few years retooling your defense, okay, and while they're going to have their ups and downs and probably allow more points, maybe not be as good as they were last year from a talent perspective, you still have a great offensive line. You still have great receivers. You still have a great tight end. You still have a great quarterback. Now, think about this. Bijan Robinson behind that offensive line. You see what I'm saying? Can you imagine? Can you imagine the damage that they're going to do on offense with Bijan Robinson as a running back? It's a beautiful thing. They're saying, oh, you don't need Bijan Robinson. You could get another running back in the mid-rounds. His offensive line is so good that, it don't matter who's running. Yeah, you could get a decent running back, and he'll look great with this offensive line. This offensive line can make an average running back look great. But how good can they make a great running back look? How great can this offensive line make a great running back look? They can make a good running back look great. Can they make a great running back look like a world beater? You see what I'm saying? I want greatness. I want greatness. What we got to do is we got to draft defense at 10. Then we got to get the 30th pick, get the second round pick for next year, whatever else we have, and try to get up to about 15 to 20, somewhere in that range, and steal Bijan Robinson. That's what we have to do. You do that, you get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, guess what? Eagles are the best team in the NFC once again. Just my thoughts, just my opinions. I hope that you guys will be seeing this video because I hope it will be out because C.J. Gardner-Johnson hasn't signed. But we'll find out in a few hours. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. Okay, so just a quick announcement. I'm so stupid. I actually confused the things going on Wednesday with the things going on Tuesday. So I said I would be able to stream Tuesday and not Wednesday. It looks like it's going to be flipped. I'm probably not going to be able to stream Tuesday, maybe for a half hour, we'll see. But I'll be able to stream Wednesday, but just not Tuesday. So you might not see me streaming tomorrow. It's because I have a bunch of things going on Tuesday. Wednesday, I will be back streaming, and then I'll stream Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So look for that. I'm sorry about the confusion. I totally looked at my calendar and realized I was telling you guys the wrong day. So I apologize. Denzel Washington out.